Most people want a better life. But very few people want the routine that creates it. People dream about success. They imagine peace, strength, respect, freedom. But when morning arrives, their energy disappears. They wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect mood. They wait for life to become easier. And slowly, while they wait, their dreams begin to dry inside them. That is the hardest truth about life. Potential means nothing without movement. Talent means nothing without consistency. And sometimes, the people with the greatest gifts become the weakest souls because they never learned how to move when they did not feel like moving. Some people lose because life defeated them. But many lose because comfort seduced them. Because discipline feels painful in the beginning. Because repeating small actions every day feels boring. Because growth often looks invisible at first. But what if discipline is not punishment? What if discipline is actually freedom? What if the thing you keep avoiding is the exact thing that can save your life? And what if nature has been trying to teach this lesson for centuries? Because far away from cities, beyond the crowded roads and noisy markets, there was once a river that forgot how to flow. My name is Kareem. And this story began in a village hidden between mountains where winters were cold, mornings were silent, and every living thing depended on water. The village was called Rahim Valley. People there respected rivers the way sailors respected the sea. They knew rivers carried life. A flowing river watered farms. A flowing river fed animals. A flowing river protected villages from drought. But there was one river the villagers never respected. They called it the Sleeping River. Because unlike the other rivers rushing through the mountains with strength and purpose, this river barely moved. Its water collected in lazy pools. Its current was weak. Leaves floated on its surface for days without moving. Mud gathered at its edges. The water became darker each season. Children laughed at it. Old farmers shook their heads whenever they walked past it. It's dying, they said. It has no force. It was never meant for greatness. But the truth was more painful than that. The river had not always been weak. Long ago, it flowed with power. It cut through stone. It crossed forests. It carried fresh water through the valley. But over time, something changed. The river found comfort in slowing down. Every year, it moved a little less. Every season, it resisted effort more. Until eventually, movement itself began to feel difficult. And slowly, the river forgot its purpose. Most people never realize this. Discipline does not disappear in one day. It dies quietly. A delayed morning becomes a habit. A missed effort becomes a pattern. Comfort becomes identity. And one day, people wake up trapped inside a life they created themselves. The villagers avoided the sleeping river. Animals stopped drinking from it. Fishermen stopped visiting it. Even birds rarely flew above it anymore. Only one person continued visiting the river every morning. An old man named Ibrahim. Nobody understood why. He walked slowly with a wooden cane and carried a small lantern before sunrise. Every morning, he sat beside the lazy river in complete silence. Sometimes for hours. The villagers thought he was lonely. Some thought he was losing his mind. But Ibrahim kept returning. And every morning, a young boy watched him from a distance. The boy's name was Yusuf. Yusuf was 16 years old. And he hated discipline. He hated waking early. He hated chores. He hated routine. His father owned a small farm, but Yusuf avoided responsibility whenever he could. He slept late. Ignored work. quit tasks halfway, and spent most afternoons lying beneath trees dreaming about a better future he never worked toward. His father often became angry. "You want results without effort," he told him. "You want harvest without planting." But Yusuf never listened. Because laziness is dangerous precisely because it feels harmless. At first, it feels comfortable. Then suddenly years disappear. One cold morning, Yusuf followed Ibrahim to the river. The old man sat near the muddy edge watching the still water. Yusuf laughed. "You come here every day for this?" Ibrahim smiled softly. "Yes." "Why?" "Because this river reminds me of people." Yusuf frowned. "It looks useless." The old man looked at the water carefully. "No," he whispered. "It looks undisciplined." Yusuf sat beside him. The mountains were covered in fog. The air smelled of wet soil and pine trees. For several minutes, neither spoke. Then Ibrahim pointed toward the dark water. "Do you know why rivers survive?" Yusuf shrugged. "Because they have water." Ibrahim shook his head. "No. Because they keep moving." The boy looked confused. The old man continued. "Flowing water stays fresh. Moving water stays alive. But still water slowly rots." Yusuf looked back at the river. For the first time, he noticed how heavy the water looked. How lifeless it felt. Then Ibrahim said something Yusuf never forgot. "Life punishes what refuses to move." The sentence stayed inside Yusuf's mind for days. But something strange happened after that morning. Yusuf began visiting the river alone. At first, he only came out of curiosity. Then slowly, he became attached to it. Because deep inside, Yusuf saw himself in the sleeping river. Both had potential. Both had become comfortable. Both were wasting their lives quietly. And perhaps that was why the river fascinated him. Every day, he noticed something new. The mud growing thicker. The insects multiplying. The smell becoming worse. The water becoming darker. The river was alive. But it was decaying. And the truth terrified him. Because many people look alive from the outside while slowly dying within. One evening, Yusuf asked Ibrahim a question. "Can the river recover?" The old man stared at the distant mountains. "Yes." "How?" "It must learn to move again." "But how can a river choose that?" Ibrahim smiled. "The same way humans do." Yusuf did not understand. But the old man continued. "Discipline begins before results appear." That sentence changed everything. Most people quit because they expect immediate transformation. They exercise for 1 week and stop. They study for 2 days and quit. They try once, fail, and return to comfort. But nature works differently. Seeds grow underground before anyone sees them. Mountains are shaped slowly. Rivers carve stone through repetition. Power is created quietly. The next morning, Ibrahim brought a shovel. Yusuf watched him carefully. The old man walked to the narrow entrance where fresh mountain water once entered the sleeping river. Years of mud and fallen branches had blocked the path. Without saying anything, Ibrahim began digging. Slowly. Patiently. One shovel at a time. Yusuf laughed. "You think that will change the river?" "No," Ibrahim said calmly. "But repeated effort will." The boy stood silently watching the old man struggle beneath the rising sun. Sweat covered Ibrahim's forehead. His hands trembled with age. But he kept digging. And something about that image disturbed Yusuf deeply. Because the old man had more discipline than the young boy standing beside him. Finally Yusuf grabbed another shovel. Together, they worked for hours. Nothing happened. The river remained still. The mud remained thick. By sunset, Yusuf felt exhausted. "This is pointless," he muttered. Ibrahim nodded slowly. "Yes. Most important things feel pointless in the beginning." The next morning, they returned. And the next. And the next. Day after day, they cleared branches, removed rocks, and reopened old water paths buried beneath years of neglect. Sometimes Yusuf wanted to quit. Sometimes he secretly hoped Ibrahim would stop coming. But every sunrise, the old man appeared beside the river carrying his lantern. And slowly, without realizing it, Yusuf began changing too. He started waking earlier. Helping his father. Finishing tasks. Speaking less. Complaining less. Because discipline spreads quietly. The way laziness infects a life, discipline rebuilds one. Weeks passed. Then suddenly, one morning, something changed. A small stream of fresh mountain water slipped through the broken blockage. Just a little. Barely noticeable. But it moved. The river made a soft sound Yusuf had never heard before. Movement. Fresh water slowly touched the dark pools. The surface trembled. Yusuf's eyes widened. "It's working." Ibrahim smiled gently. Small progress matters. That day the river looked different. Not powerful. Not beautiful. But alive. And sometimes that is enough to continue. The villagers still mocked them. "You are wasting time. That river is finished. It will never change." But Ibrahim ignored them. Because disciplined people understand something others do not. Results arrive late. That is why weak minds quit early. Days turned into months. And the sleeping river slowly transformed. Fresh water pushed old mud away. The smell faded. The current strengthened. Tiny fish returned first. Then birds. Then animals. The river began singing again against rocks and roots. Its voice echoed through the valley each morning. And for the first time in years, villagers stopped beside the river to watch. Some looked shocked. Some embarrassed. Some silent. Because people often mock what they secretly fear they could become. One afternoon, Yusuf sat beside Ibrahim watching the stronger current move through the valley. "I think I understand now," Yusuf whispered. The old man looked at him. "Tell me." Yusuf stared at the water. The river was not weak because it lacked ability. Ibrahim nodded. "Yes. It became weak because it stopped moving." The old man smiled. "And humans are no different." A cold wind moved through the trees. Clouds drifted slowly above the mountains. Then Ibrahim pointed toward the flowing water. "Do you see what discipline really is?" Yusuf shook his head. "It is teaching yourself to move before you feel ready." The sentence hit Yusuf harder than anything before. Because most people believe action follows motivation. But life works the opposite way. Action creates motivation. Movement creates energy. Consistency creates confidence. That is why disciplined people appear powerful. Not because life became easier for them. Because they learned how to continue despite difficulty. The river taught Yusuf that truth every single day. Winter arrived early that year. Heavy storms hit the valley. Rain fell for days. Many rivers became violent and dangerous. But something strange happened. The sleeping river survived the storm better than the others. Because movement had strengthened it. Its current carried pressure away. Its flowing water adapted naturally. And suddenly the villagers understood something important. Stillness creates weakness. Movement creates resilience. Most people avoid discipline because they fear discomfort. But discipline actually protects people from greater suffering later. The pain of training protects against weakness. The pain of saving protects against poverty. The pain of honesty protects relationships. Short discomfort often prevents long destruction. One evening, Yusuf's father approached the river quietly. He watched his son helping Ibrahim clear another section near the rocks. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then softly he whispered, "You changed." Yusuf looked down. "No," he replied. "I finally started moving." Years passed after that winter. The valley transformed alongside the river. Farms grew healthier. Fields stayed green longer. Children played beside the water again. Travelers stopped to rest near its banks. And slowly, people stopped calling it the sleeping river. Now they called it the living river. But the greatest transformation was not the river. It was Yusuf. The lazy boy became the most disciplined man in the valley. He woke before sunrise. Worked with patience. Helped others. Built irrigation systems across nearby farms. And eventually became known for something rare. Reliability. People trusted him. Because discipline creates trust. A disciplined person keeps promises. Shows up consistently. Finishes what they begin. And over time, that becomes power. One spring morning, years later, Yusuf sat beside Ibrahim once more. The old man had grown weaker. His hands shook more now. His breathing had become slower. Together they watched the river flowing strongly beneath golden sunlight. Birds crossed above them. The water sparkled against smooth stones. Then Yusuf asked quietly, "Why did you choose this river?" Ibrahim smiled. "Because I once became like it." Yusuf looked surprised. The old man stared at the current. "When I was young, I wasted years waiting to feel motivated. I delayed everything. Avoided responsibility. I thought I had time." His eyes became distant. But laziness steals life quietly. Yusuf listened carefully. One day, Ibrahim continued, "I realized something terrifying." "What?" "The river outside me matched the river inside me." Silence filled the valley. Then the old man whispered something Yusuf carried forever. "Discipline saved my life. Not motivation. Not inspiration. Discipline. Simple daily actions repeated consistently. That is what rebuilt him. That is what rebuilt the river. And that is what rebuilds every broken life. Most people search for giant changes. But life transforms through small repeated actions. Wake up early enough times, and identity changes. Train long enough, and weakness disappears. Stay consistent long enough, and impossible things become normal. The river did not become powerful in one moment. It became powerful one flow at a time. That is how humans change too. Slowly. Quietly. Repeatedly. Months later, Ibrahim passed away peacefully in his sleep. The entire village attended his funeral. Even people who once mocked him stood silently beside the flowing river afterward. Because deep down, they knew the old man had taught them something bigger than survival. He taught them how to live. Years later, Travelers crossing Rahim Valley often heard stories about the river. People spoke about how it returned from decay, how it became stronger after years of weakness, how one old man refused to give up on it. But only Yusuf understood the full truth. The river was never the real story. The real story was discipline. The invisible force that turns weakness into strength. The quiet decision to continue. The courage to move even when progress feels slow. Because discipline is not dramatic. It is repetitive. It is lonely sometimes. It is uncomfortable. But eventually, discipline creates a life that comfort never could. Many people watching this right now feel like that river. Stuck. Heavy. Unmotivated. Full of potential but unable to move. Maybe you delayed your dreams too long. Maybe you became addicted to comfort. Maybe you lost belief in yourself. But the river teaches something important. You do not need perfect conditions to begin again. You only need movement. One step. One routine. One repeated action. That is how flow returns. That is how strength returns. That is how identity changes. The truth is simple. Your life follows your habits. Not your wishes. Not your excuses. Not your intentions. Your repeated actions shape your future. And sometimes the strongest people are not the smartest or most talented. Sometimes they are simply the people who kept flowing when life became difficult. Years after Ibrahim's death, Yusuf carved a sentence into a stone beside the river. Travelers still stop to read it today. It said, "Still water decays. Flowing water survives." And maybe that sentence is about you too. Maybe life is waiting for you to move again. Maybe discipline is the bridge between the person you are and the person you could become. Maybe your pain is not proof of failure. Maybe it is proof that growth has begun. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs this reminder today. And remember this. A river becomes powerful by continuing to flow. And so do people.